All right, good morning everyone. Starting a bit later today, but welcome to warm-up day 33. It's very bright in my room today. Let's get started. So come on to our feet. And we're going to start by walking through the space. And you feel free to move through as much of the space as you want. I'm going to stay relatively close to my microphone so that you can hear me. But let's begin today just beginning to move. So walk through your space. Walk through your room. Now you may be working in a room that's relatively small, so you may only be able to walk from sort of end to end, and that's okay. But we're walking through the room, beginning to bring our attention now to our bodies. And as you walk through the room, you can shake out any body part that needs a little waking up. You can pat down your skin. Sort of a quick hello to your body. Okay, and then when you've done that to your liking, it's a quick one. Continue to move through the space. And bring your attention now into your feet, to the bones of your feet. Feel your feet contacting the floor. Noticing however it is that you walk, perhaps it's heel-toe, perhaps it's toe-heel, perhaps it's on the outer edges of your feet. But bring your awareness now into the bones of your feet. Scan up into your mind, in your mind's eye, into your ankles. And imagine that your ankles are filled with air, which is your breath. So your ankles are floating on top of your feet. Scan up in your body, mind's eye into your shin bones. Picture those slender bones coming up out of your ankles. And scan up now into your knees, your knee joints. And again, picture air floating your knees. So air in your knees. So your knees are floating on top of your shin bones. And for those of you just joining, we're starting today by moving through the space. I'm staying close to my microphone, but you feel free to move through as much of the space as you want to or as you can. And we're scanning through the bones of our bodies. So we were in our knees. Now picture in your body, mind's eye, up into your thigh bones. And picture your thigh bones growing right up out of your knees. And then picture the top of your thigh bones, the rounded head of the thigh bones fitting very snugly, very deeply into your hip sockets. And now picture air in your hip sockets, which is your breath. So now as you picture your pelvis is floating on those pockets of air in your hip sockets. And as you picture that, you might start to feel that your pelvis becomes a little more buoyant, that it starts to become a little more, floats a bit more. You become perhaps a bit more upright with this picture of air, your breath in your hip sockets. Now picture your tailbone in the very center of your pelvis. Picture that growing up into the sacrum. Picture that now growing up into your lumbar spine. And maybe you picture a little pocket, little disc of air, your breath, between each one of those 5 lumbar vertebrae. Picture your thoracic spine, the spine of your ribs. And again, picturing a little pillow, a little pocket, a disc of air between each one of those 12 vertebrae. That is your breath. And now picture your ribs growing out of your thoracic spine, coming around to the front of your body. Your sternum rests on your rib cage, and your ribs are floating. Picture up into the base of your neck. Scan out along your shoulders, your shoulder girdle to the shoulders, where they meet the arms. And picture down your arm bones, down to your forearms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, and they're all hanging from your shoulders. And again, maybe you feel or picture little pockets of air in your shoulder joints, in your elbow joints, in your wrist joints, and in the joints of your fingers. And that air is your breath. And then scan your body, mind's eye, back up your arms to your shoulders, to the base of your neck. And then scan up your neck spine. And picture that cervical vertebrae. And again, you're picturing little pillows of air, your breath, in between each one of those 7 vertebrae. So it might begin to feel that your neck starts to float up with this image of air. And the atlas vertebra, the one at the top, again, a little pillow of air. Atlas in Greek mythology was the god who held up the world. So maybe you can picture that the atlas vertebra, the topmost vertebra, is holding up the globe of your skull, that little pocket of your breath. Picture your skull floating. Feel your jaw release. And as you think into your skull, bring your attention back down to your feet. Feel the connection from your feet all the way up through the bones of your body, all the way up through your skull. Those little pillows of air floating you up. And now as you walk through the space, continue to walk through the space, think of softening the outer layers of muscles in your body. So softening the buttock muscles, softening the belly muscles, softening the jaw muscles. And maybe you have an awareness of some other muscle group that you're hanging on to that you don't need to because we're just walking. We're not doing anything very athletic. Let your lips part. Let your mouth go, if it's not already. And feel the breath now coming in and out through your mouth. Your skeleton is tall. It's alive. It's filled with air. And if you can, if you have the space, start to move a little more quickly. Still staying tall in your skeleton, still letting the outer layers of muscles be free. Your belly is free, your jaw is free. Notice that this may be making a bit more demand on your breath. And if you can, move a little faster. You might have to be rather dainty here if you have neighbors below who might still be sleeping. And a little faster, not quite a jog yet, but a quick saunter. Still, your skeleton is tall, your belly is free, breath coming in and out through your mouth. Noticing the demand that this is now making on your breath. And if you can, start to take it into a loose jog. Loose jog. Skeleton tall, belly free, buttocks free, legs loose, breath coming in and out through your mouth. And if you can go a little faster, go a little faster. Woo. Ooh, my neighbor's gonna go, what are you doing? It's so early. So I'm gonna be very, very light, but I'm still gonna have this sense of my skeleton is my support structure. I don't need my belly, I don't need my jaw, don't even really need my buttocks. And I'm making a much more of a demand on my breath now. Can you feel that? And if you can move faster, go faster. Into a jog, a real jog now. Notice if you're starting to hold the belly. Notice if you're clenching the buttock muscles. Notice if you've closed your jaw. You let all that be free. You might be moving faster than I am. I'm going to be conscious of my neighbors below. Can you move faster? Can you actually run? Can you run through your home? Is that possible? Skeleton tall, belly free, jaw free, breath coming in and out through your mouth. Noticing the great demand it's now making on your breath. And then come back to a loose jog. Noticing the change in your breath. Coming back to a saunter. See how the saunter has now changed from the first time we sauntered. And come back to a walk. Notice your breath now as you come back and find a place where you can stand comfortably. And take a moment to feel what your breath feels like, your body. See if you feel energized. I do. Feeling alive, feeling awake. So let's keep that sense of the support being in our spines. So those pillows of air, right? I gave you images of air in your joints, in your ankle joints, in your knee joints, in your hip sockets, in your shoulders, down your arms, right? All the way up through your spine. So, right, there's parts of us that really we want to think of as being floating. And of course, then there are parts of us that we want to let go. So those are those outer layers of muscles. So again, as you stand here, soften the muscles of your buttocks. Without collapsing in your spine, without collapsing your knees, can you soften your leg muscles? Can you really give the duty of standing over to your skeleton? Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Tess. Can you give the duty of standing over to your skeleton? Softening your belly muscles. Doing that without collapsing the spine. Right? It's really easy to collapse the spine. But can that be tall? Can that be floating? Can it be buoyant? Softening your shoulder muscles. Softening your jaw muscles, softening your tongue muscles. And now those joints are floating. Think into your elbow joints and rotate them forward. Maybe you feel there's a little bit of a movement happening in your back ribs as you do that. Float your elbows up and in front of you. And really feel the back ribs opening. Think into your wrists, wrist joints, and float the wrists up till your arms are straight but not locked. And think into your fingertips and float your hands up. A little stretch up out of one side, up out of your hip sockets. A little stretch up out of the other. Stretch up and stretch up. And let that go. Shoulders dropped, knees still soft. Let your hands drop. Whew. Feel that relief. Wrists drop. Bigger relief. Have you collapsed your spine? Have you collapsed your knees? Keep those tall. Elbows drop. Big relief. Head drops forward. Ooh, feel that pull in the base of your neck. Keep your knees soft. Think into your tripod points, which I haven't talked about yet, but think into those tripod points that you're balancing over in your feet. Keep that balance as you start to make your way down your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Knees will bend slightly. As your center of gravity changes, your weight will shift to keep you balanced, dropping down, 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 down until you're hanging from your tailbone. Giving your torso over to gravity. Sweep up the backs of your legs a few times. Remind yourself of anti-gravity. Remember those pillows of air floating you up in your legs. Let that go. Bring your hands to your back ribs. Feed in and let go of a deep down sigh of relief on breath. Can your breath fall out of you as immediately as your arms drop in? One more time. Deep down sigh of relief on breath. Drop your arms. Think into the base of your spine and start to rebuild yourself, vertebra by vertebra. Those little pillows of air reinstate themselves. Coming up to your head, drop to your chest. Belly is still relaxed. And then your neck floats up. Ooh, and there we are. Let's do that one more time. We'll add some breath into this. Elbows rotate forward. Float the elbows up. The wrists float up. Fingers float up. Hands float up. Good. Little shift from knee to knee. Make sure you haven't locked. Can you feel your tripods plugged into the ground? If you haven't, actually plug in. Take a step forward with one foot. Plug it in like you're plugging into an outlet. Step forward with the other foot. Plug in. There you are. You're plugged in like extension cords into the ground. You feel the energy coming up from the ground, through your feet, through the bones of your skeleton, all the way up through the fingertips. And as you let your hands drop, let a little sigh of relief on breath drop out with it. Blue sloppy F. As your wrists drop, it's a medium sigh of relief. And as your elbows drop, it's a large sigh of relief on breath. As you now let your knees still soft, have you locked your knees? As you let your head drop forward, a small sigh of relief on breath falls out with it. As you drop your weight halfway down your spine, a medium sigh falls out of you. And as you drop all the way down, a large sigh of relief falls out with you. Bring your hands to your back ribs one more time. Feed in and let go of a deep down sigh of relief on breath. Deep down. Let your arms drop. Letting the breath come in and out as it wants to. With your attention on your breath, start to rebuild your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Your belly stays soft. Your buttocks stay soft. You might feel a little shaky, and that's okay. Noticing your breath, coming back all the way up to standing. One more time. This time we're going to add vibrations. Elbows go forward. Rotate them forward. Float them up. Float the wrists. Float the fingertips. A little shift from knee to knee. Still plugged in. And now as you let your hands drop, As your wrists drop, As your elbows drop, As your head drops, And as you start to drop down your spine, in dialogue with me, And as you hang from feet in a big wave of vibrational relief. Walk your hands forward so you're in a pike position. Walking your hands forward, stretching your hamstrings. And again, you're letting one heel drop to the ground, bending the other knee as you side down the backs of your legs. Let your head drop here. Float one leg up to the sky and shake the vibrations of sound up and out through that leg. Bring that leg down, extend the other leg up and out. Bring that leg down. Now bounce your heels down to the ground and let the sound get bounced from your heels up and over your legs, over your spine and down through your lips. Walk your feet to your hands, or hands to your feet. Hang from your tailbone again. A little bounce in your knees. Keep that loose bouncing going as you come up to standing. About 3 of these maybe bring you up. Belly free. Keep that bouncing going. Let your head gently rock from side to side. Feel it bouncing through your whole skeleton, yeah? That's our attention today. Let that bouncing come to stillness. Thump those vibrations through the bones of your ribs. Are you still feeling buoyant in your spine? Still got that image and feeling of air in you, or have you collapsed a bit? See if you can find that again if you've lost it. Could you spread those vibrations now from your ribs down through one of your arms, and with your other hand you're going to sort of thump it through. Through the other arm. Through your belly. Through your back. Ah. You can sort of rub or you can thump if you'd like. Through your buttocks. Through the bones of one of your legs. Get our skeletons vibrating through the other leg. Through your shoulders. Through your neck. Through your skull. And through the bones of your face. Maybe you rub a little bit here. And one more, cheekbones, jawbone, teeth bones. Stay with that jaw for a moment. Massage into the jaw. And then take your hands to your jaw and shake your jaw loose. Think into your feet, still connected to those tripods, still air in your joints, long spine, belly loose. You're a chattering skeleton. Open your skeleton wide, shift your weight to one side, reach up and over with an arm, clasp onto that wrist, pulsing into your side ribs, yawn in, and stretch and relax your tongue. Other side. Other side. Think of all that space from your elbow to your knee. As your knee pulses down, you pull the wrist in the opposite direction and you're breathing into that whole side rib, down to the hip socket. Gently exchange sides, exchange arms. Come back to the first side. As you stretch into your side ribs, you're stretching that skeletal structure of your ribs. Breathe in and out on a whispered cough. About 4 times. And the other side. Let Let go, shake your arms out. And let's open up the front ribs. Tailbone swings back, arms come forward to the eagle. Breathe in and out on a whispered ka into your front ribs. Feel that soft palate opening. Space in the back of the mouth. Now, tailbone forward. Round your back, arms come forward. Breathe in and out on a whispered ka into your back ribs. Drop your arms, give your bones a little shake. Now we stretch the four sides of our rib cage. It's a loose, six-sided box. The front ribs, back ribs, side ribs, the pelvis, and the upper ribs. And now we're going to vacuum our lungs. So we're going to sigh the breath out, create a vacuum. Close your feet as you do this. Your lungs are going long and narrow as you deflate them. Push it all out. Get it all out. When you're out of breath, open your feet wide, wide skeleton, wide ribs. Plug your nose. Close your mouth. Wait for the beat for breath. Feet underneath your hips. Take a moment to feel that sense of expansion, of breath capacity, of power. And now float your hands on top of your head so that your ribs are open. Feet in four deep down sighs of preferably pleasurable breath in and out through your mouth. As the breath whooshes out of you, the hands will fly up. Four, one right after the other. Here we go. Feel the breath moving your ribs, moving your skeleton. Let your arms drop. Breathe normally for a moment. Swallow if it's gotten dry. Now let your hands come right under your ribs, right at your diaphragm. Feed in six medium-sized breath in and out through your mouth, one right after the other. Be aware how these medium size move you. Much more centrally located in the middle of you, in your diaphragm. One more time, six medium size. And now feed in many, many fluttering pants of anticipation that turn into relief. And the last one's a little bigger. The last one's a sigh of relief. And again, really enliven yourself. Bring that breath energy into you this morning. Perhaps it's that same feeling when you were jogging or running quickly earlier. It's that energy in your breath, but it's a lot more economical now. And six medium size. And then float your hands on top of your head. Four huge deep down sighs of breath in and out through your mouth. Drop your hands. Lay your hands on your chest now, and now think down into your chest. Feed in four huge sighs of chest resonance. Ha. 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 Now float your hands on top of your head as if you're feeding in four huge deep down sighs of breath, but four sighs of chest resonance, 4 huge sighs of chest resonance fly up and out of you. Ha. 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 Think into your mouth resonator, 6 pulses of mouth resonance. Ha. 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 Hands underneath your diaphragm. Really feel it floating up and out of you. Ha. 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 And now pulsing into your teeth. He. 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 And now a little faster. He. 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 Again. He. 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 And now remind yourself of those fingertips of connection, those pulsing anticipatory pants. He, 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 he. He, 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 he. And now we'll go. He, 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 he. He, 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 he. Come up onto your tiptoes. A little bounce through your legs, through your knees. He, 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 he. He, 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 he. To your mouth. Ha, 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 ha. Excuse me. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. And now to your chest. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. And now come up and let's blend those 3. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Shake it into your body. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. And now we're going to put those 2 things together. It's going to go ha, 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 hey. And now we're going to take a little pixie pants, What are pixie? Ooh, I've got pixie pants on today. You're going to pant, pixie steps through the room. Ha, 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 hey. Up on your tiptoes. Ha, 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 hey. And now 2 hays. Ha, 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 hey. Ha, 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 hey. And really feel your feet on the ground, feel the bones, feel the hay reverberating through your skeleton. Ha, 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 hey. Ha, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. And I'm noticing a little tension in the back of my tongue. So I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to massage into the base of my tongue. Hey, hey, hey. A little wibble wobble of your larynx from side to side. Hey. Let go as you stand there, feet on the floor, floating skeleton, belly released, buttocks released, jaw released, feet in a hey, and feel that reverberating through the bones of your body. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, I'm ready for the day. All right, that's our warm-up for today. I hope you enjoyed this attention to the bones, to breath. Hey. And let me know what you got out of the warm-up today. If anything else was sparked in your imagination today, as we were bringing our attention to our breath, our bones, our vibrations. All right, have a great day.